Hi folks, Tim here. We're picking up where we left off at the last video where we had a dry startup where we pulled the system out of the box and we started the system up. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to service the system. That means changing the old cartridges out. And how that is done is we're going to depressurize the system, we're going to turn the system off, we're going to change the cartridges out and reapply the new filters. But first off, let me point a few things out here. This here is just a benchtop type of test where we started before, and normally this would be installed underneath the kitchen counters. So for those of you installers that are out there, what I would like to do is point out a few things. The cold water supply to the machine goes to the machine, and I highly recommend that you install a ball valve right at the machine. This makes it a lot easier for you to service later on in the future. All you have to do is break the pressure from the system and then turn the ball valve off. Real simple. Let me show you how this is done. First off, we have our simulated faucet right here that would normally be protruding up through the kitchen sink. We're going to demonstrate how to turn that pressure off. So what you do first is you open up the faucet, got water coming out, turn this off, wait for that surge of water going down. That has depressurized a certain area of the system. Turn the ball valve off, wait about a minute, then move around, breaking the pressure, opening the faucet, leaving the faucet completely open. Wiggling the post filter at the bottom. If it wiggles nice and loosely, with an upward motion, give it a clockwise twist. And bring that old filter out. It's always wise to have a few towels around, not paper towels, but a nice bath towel or a beach towel, and apply that, put that underneath here to catch any water that may have dripped out of the open cartridge. Next is, let's remove the membrane. Wiggle it from the bottom. It has been depressurized. With an upward motion, clockwise twist, remove that. Pre-filter has been depressurized with a upward motion and a clockwise twist, remove that filter. Okay. I always like to go to the center post and give it a nice little wipe with a clean rag. In this case, this rag is really clean. Maybe have a second rag there that has some sanitizing solution, and that could be something as simple as alcohol and or maybe 3% hydrogen peroxide, which is a small bottle easily carried in your installation kit. Soak it with the rag and then hit the center receptacle with that, kind of wiping it clean. Okay. Now, normally the new cartridges would be capped. That would be sent to you from the factory. Remove the cap. And like we did in the dry startup before, we would like you to pre-fill these cartridges, either with tap water and or having a couple of bottles, and you bring a bottle of water, maybe some reverse osmosis water. Maybe you can refill that back at your shop and bring it out with you, or just buy something from the store, have a half a gallon of that or a gallon on board your truck, and fill the canisters like we did in the dry startup, and then just make sure the caps are off with a upward slight pressure and a counterclockwise motion. You're going to twist that pre-filter back on. You're going to perform the same function by pre-filling the membrane, and again with a upward motion counterclockwise. Same thing, pre-fill the post filter, upward motion, counterclockwise. Wipe up any water. Just in case you improperly installed the cartridges, make sure that the cartridges are fully turned counterclockwise so they're in their stopped position so that it does not pop off as the system becomes pressurized. Okay, we are ready to restart the system. That is the service. That's how fast it is. Our faucet was left open. Let's see what happens when we turn the cold water valve on. here we are. We would be underneath the kitchen sink normally under these conditions. And I'm gonna turn this valve on, and there it is. We have water coming from the faucet. We've cleared the lines full of any air. We turn the faucet off. We hear our depressurization from the waistline going down the kitchen sink. And we have now just changed the cartridges out, and your system is ready to rock and roll. Now, if somebody has a TDS meter on site, let's say that there's a TDS meter left behind by the customer, I want to make a special note here so that you understand, and so the end user would also understand, the end user being the people in the home. If they do in fact have a TDS meter, their initial, let's say 15 gallons of water, and that could be 10 fill-ups, they may recognize an elevation in TDS, and this TDS elevation is coming from the new post filter. So it will eventually clear its throat, clear out, and giving the customer pristine water. Be on the lookout for the next video. We're going to talk about how to check TDS from the system. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks, guys. Bye.